couple of points I pick up on that. One, we talk about the breakthrough. I get it, and there is a process called the breakthrough. But in reality, you all are quite right. There's a lot of breakthrough. The breakthroughs have already begun. It's very interesting to notice that in people. All I'll say is exercise a bit of caution. I know you did, because that can be very triggering for people when they're not inside of this container, and it could cause an adverse reaction. So just be careful of that. Tahira.
Hello, my beautiful family.
Hello.
So I actually had an extremely long night and a very, very long morning and an afternoon, because I think I was telling you or Andrea that I have a court date. I had a court this morning at 9 o'clock, which lasted till 12:30. Of course, there was not much of an outcome. However, I wanted to thank you from the bottom of my heart, because this was my second court date, and the first one, the entire time, I was shivering, shaking, and crying like crazy. It's like I was showing my weakness all over the place. I was like a disaster. But today, it was different, and my last court was in last July. So I can already see so much different, and I wanted to thank you. I did feel that I have a very, very long way to go, but just knowing that I'm on a right path, it's just really, I'm very, very appreciative of that. And
Tahira, what do you think? What do you think right now led to that change in that specific experience from a court point of view? What, for your internal experience, as you think about it now, what specifically has made that difference, even though we haven't got to the breakthrough? What do you think?
Well, I really think that I truly believe that I had few small breakthroughs. I still have to have a big breakthrough. However, those small breakthroughs has impacted my life tremendously.
Of course.
And to answer your question is because understanding of my mindset and where I'm coming from, that has helped me. That has really helped me to pull myself together in my emotions, and be able to be thoughtful of when and how my expression should be.
Agreed.
And so, like, really, really thank you. And on the second note of learnings, it was very funny. So I had my best friend who is a former FBI, and his wife. They are like my families. So they come to, they come with me on the court, and they were sitting because we had this long period where there was a murder trial that was going on. So we had to wait. So we were in this room, and my attorney was there, and we were just generally talking. And so my attorney was like, Tahira, so how's your therapy going? Because you know that this is how she's presenting. And I was like, well, I said, it's okay. Ms. Moore, we can talk freely over here, because Steve and Jackie, they both know that I'm actually learning, a few stuff. And she was like, okay. So she goes, so what did you learn? And I said, well, in last 2 days, what I have learned is I can actually kind of sort of describe what level you guys are at. And my attorney goes, well, that is interesting, Tahira. Let's go for it. And all three of them, I described them, and they were like, oh my God, Tahira, that is awesome. That is awesome. And I could see my attorney being a little bit of argumential about it. And then I explained her that that's your work of line that's kind of coming in.
Yeah.
And she kind of nodded her head, and she was like, yeah. And just so you guys know, my attorney is also a judge in a different district, in a different court. So she is a judge and representing me as an attorney. So it was kind of very interesting. And like after this conversation, while I was driving back to the house, I was like, Well, I feel like kind of empowered knowing all these
Yeah.
information. I said, I feel very, very extremely powerful. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And thank you for all this lovely family and all this support. I really, really, truly appreciate you guys so much.
Great
So
share.
thank
Thank you. Couple of points I pick up on that. One, we talk about the breakthrough, the breakthrough. I get it. And there is a process called the breakthrough. But in reality, you all are quite right. There's a lot of breakthrough. The breakthroughs have already begun. And you're seeing with Veronica, sometimes that in itself is is huge, right? So because the way the delivery is, the way we weaving in the concept, so it's pretty normal for that to happen. Secondly, on the other point, it's very interesting to notice that in people. All I'll say is exercise a bit of caution. I know you did, because that can be very triggering for people when they're not inside of this container. So just be careful how, because I know we get very eager, want to share that with people, and those people could, but just depending on who you're speaking with, sometimes they could either pigeonhole themselves, or they may not understand the full context, and it could cause an adverse reaction. So just be careful of that. I've pasted an
Yeah, you're
article.
absolutely right, because I saw that with my attorney a little bit, but then I guess because her mindset level is a little bit different, she was able
Yes.
to shift.